Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Today's Monday, July 17th. It is 6:14 right now. Market's gonna open in about 16 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Got a couple of things here to update. And we should be good to go. All right, looks good. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in, and we will get started shortly. All right, so I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in, and then we'll start marking up liquidity shortly. Let's see if I get this one. All right, guys, morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Today's Monday, July 17th. It is 6:18 right now. Market's gonna open in about 12 minutes. Let's see who's here so far. Morning, Surin. Morning, Johnny. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Patricia. Morning, Randy. Morning, Maria. Morning, Rick. Morning, everybody. Morning, Solange. Thanks, Randy, for that back test you did for us. So Randy showed me this back test that he did over the weekend, which looked pretty solid. I just want to show you guys and the results too that he came up with, because the results are pretty nice. So Randy pretty much tested the momentum pullback strategy, main strategy we apply here on the live session, and pretty good win rate, 29 wins, 3 losses overall, 90.63% win rate, total profit of 2,150 pips. He traded between, I believe, 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. He identified 100% win rate. And then again, later, if he identified wins between 8 o'clock and 10:30, a little bit more profit, a little bit more wins, and also 100% win rate. So pretty solid back test right there. Thanks, Randy, for sharing that with me. And that just makes it even better, right? But when you guys do your own back test and it shows me that you guys understand the strategy and you guys are finding success with it, it's just a proof of concept for all of us here that this is something that we should focus on. So Thanks, Randy, for doing that. And you know, like I mentioned, this is going to be the main strategy that I'll be focusing on. I'll be looking at the 1 hour from time to time, but I don't want to be on the charts all day, so I'm not really going to be applying it as much as I was before. And I'll be looking at liquidity too, but again, it's not going to be one of the main strategies that I'm going to be looking to take entries from. I'm mainly going to be looking at this momentum pullback scalp. And you know, this back test from one of our members here, Randy, this is just shows you exactly why I would want to focus on this. Because if you could have a 100% win rate and have, you know, X amount of wins, that's a pretty good exchange versus, you know, taking something that has high risk like the 1 hour. I mean, high risk, high reward, because this hits almost every time, has like a 95% win rate. When you have a loss, it does set you back a bit. So sometimes you're gonna be unlucky applying this, but I feel like the momentum pullback scalp, it's very accurate and we're able to cut losses early if necessary. So see who's here. Morning, Karen. Morning, Andreas. Morning, Dan. Morning, Kaner. Morning, Rashida. Morning, Casey. Morning, everybody. All right, guys. So it looks like the majority of you guys are here so far. I'm going to go ahead and mark up liquidity now. So I'll start off with the daily time frames, and then we will go from there. So I'm not going to mark up the. I'm not going to put labels on it, like I said before, guys, because it's just too much. It's too much of a hassle. And it's not really necessary. So this is going to be the daily liquidity. And obviously the colors are going to change when you get below the 1 hour. So there's nothing wrong with these strategies. The strategies still work very well. It's just that it's hard for me to focus on so many different strategies at once, especially on these live sessions here. I'm going to mark up the established ones. Back to the 1 hour. So given that this liquidity push is still a good strategy, the only problem is that it does have, you know, like a lot of people have complained about the negative risk towards, that's the kind of downside to it, but the strategy still works fine. So if you guys want to keep applying the liquidity push, you know, whether it be on open or throughout the day, the strategy still works fine. So I just want to give you guys a heads up so that you guys don't stop using the strategy just because I don't use it mainly anymore. It's just a lot of work compared to the other stuff that we're applying. So I can't necessarily focus on it too much, but we will be looking at it. We'll use this as a confluence. So for example, if you have liquidity sitting in a certain area and for whatever reason, we see a momentum pullback scalp going that direction, then we will still take it, or we'll take it in that direction. It's always beneficial to have multiple confluences in a specific area. All right, so we got all the liquidity marked up right there. As you guys can see, there's a level of liquidity up here. It's a bit weak. I mean, that's the closest level. And here's the next level right here. Market volatility is very low. So you want to be a little careful with these entries here. If you do take these entries, I would probably only go for 100 pips because as you guys can see over here, if you guys are going for the full 300, it's a pretty big push. Like it's not something that I expect to hit right away. So you might get some back and forth movement here. So if you decide to take a trade here, like I mentioned, guys, I would probably only go for 100 pips. In my opinion, I think that's probably going to be your best option because if you go for the full move, that's, I mean, it's super risky because it's not necessarily, the volatility is not high enough for it to reach the full 300 pips right away. You're probably going to be caught in this position for a while. And the thing with that is that, you know, if you can see over here, it's not cutting into any other levels. You have a first level there, and then it kind of slows down a bit. There's more levels down here, but it's probably going to slow down before it actually hits the full direction. Hey, Kenny, morning. All right, guys. So looks like we have about 6 minutes until market open. We're going to mark up. I don't think there's any news today. There's news at 8:30, but that's irrelevant because we're not going to be trading after 8 today. So I'm not really going to mark it up. Just leave it as is. Right here, growing loading issue, autosave increase. Okay, so it looks like TradingView has updated the chart over the weekend. All right, that's good. It's markup structure right here, pre-market. We'll see how this opens on market open. So you guys can see the structure right here. Price is pretty much just going sideways. A lot of consolidation and ranging over here on the clean chart. Here's our main chart over here. Once the price starts moving around, I'll mark up the 10 points. Right now it's kind of pointless because you can see the volatility is very low. So if I mark up the 10 points right here, it doesn't really make a difference for us. So there's the 20. There's the 10. You can see how far of a distance it is between these 10 points, right? So not a good area to trade the momentum pullback scalp. But once we get closer to closer to 7, it'll be a lot more volatile. Hey, Ben Harwick, morning. All right, guys. So 6:26 right now. Market's gonna open in about 4 minutes. And just a heads up, guys. So today we're not having the mentoring session. We're going to have it tomorrow. I had a lot of requests to move it to tomorrow. So I'm going to move it tomorrow just to accommodate for a lot of the people who can't attend on Monday. So I'll remind you guys later in the session, but just a heads up right now, guys, there's no mentoring session today. The mentoring session will be held tomorrow at our normal time, 2 p.m. So I just want to give you guys a heads up before we get started. Also, if you guys are here on the YouTube, I think we're just going to set a schedule for the free YouTube live stream. As I mentioned, we're going to start cutting it off lower and lower. And for the past couple of weeks, I've been doing it randomly, and it's kind of hard for people to really plan to be on it, for people who want to test this out. So I think Mondays will be our free live stream on YouTube, and that's pretty much it. We'll do Mondays, and also just whenever I feel like sharing it, just make sure that you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel. So if you guys are on the YouTube right now, make sure that you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Let's see. So this is what the YouTube channel looks like. Just make sure that you guys subscribe and turn on notifications, because if I do go live and I share it to the public, it's not going to be on the public, it's going to be unlisted. So when I do go live, you guys will get the link sent to your email. So just make sure that you guys are subscribed and turn on notifications, because there's just going to be some days this week where I feel like the market's going to be really good, and I might want to share it with the public live stream. So if you guys are subscribed and have your notifications turned on, and this doesn't apply to Zoom. If you guys are on the Zoom, it's fine. You guys are going to get the actual link to the Zoom, but this is just to people who are on the YouTube. So yeah, I think moving forward, Monday will be the public stream day. So I'll stream the live session and also the mentoring session when we have it. And then eventually it'll just, there will just no longer be any public stream. I just don't want to cut you guys off dry so immediately. So just want to give you guys the heads up there. If you guys want to sit in on this session and just see what we do here before actually taking the lead to joining our community. So, I try to keep things fair with everybody, whether you guys are in the premium or not, but obviously we want to keep this within the premium. Hey, Pablo, morning. Good to hear from you, bro. It's been a while. Or actually, you come in like maybe once a week, huh, Pablo? I see you in there every once in a while. But good to see you here. Hopefully you had a great weekend, and market is going to open in about 2 minutes, guys. So during the session, I'll let you guys know if you guys can ask questions. If you do have a question, just put them in the chat, but I'm probably not going to answer them right away, especially if we're trading live and we have trades coming up. If you guys do have a question, feel free to put your questions in, but if I don't answer them right away, just be patient. I'll get to your question when we have some downtime. Because sometimes I'll see people put a question and then I don't respond to it immediately, and they keep reposting the question over and over and over again. So, just a heads up, guys. Yeah, no, definitely, Pablo. Hey, Kevin, morning. Morning, Shannon. Morning, CJ. Morning, everybody. All right, guys, market is opening in about 20 seconds. So as you guys can see, the volatility is starting to pick up here a bit more. Market is opening in about 10 seconds. We've got market open in about 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Market is now open. Here goes volatility on open right here. I'm gonna go ahead and mark up opening price. Yeah, I was expecting price to push up because the sentiment's still very high. So that's one thing that I forgot to do. Let me go and mark up today's overall bias, retail sentiment, fundamental bias, short-term technicals, long-term technicals. So for retail sentiment, I believe it's like 70% short. Yeah, 70% short right here. This indicates that there's 70% of retail traders are currently selling. So we typically want to do the opposite and buy. So we have a bullish bias for retail sentiment. Looking over here at fundamental bias, I think it's neutral right now. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty neutral. It's at 74 pre-market, but the market is now open. So it'll probably update in a few. I'll just put neutral right now. Or I'll put bearish, neutral. Negative, we'll say 60 points. Let's take a look at the short-term technicals. All right, short-term technicals over here are bullish neutral. I'm saying bullish neutral because price was in between the pivots just a few minutes ago. Now it's starting to push up. So we're gonna put bullish neutral for short-term technicals. Until it's established, it'll still be bullish neutral. And on the higher time frames, it is obviously bullish here. You can see prices above the pivots, trend meter is green, pivots are angling up. We'll just say bullish for long-term technicals for now. All right, so there goes the overall bias for today. It's currently bullish at the moment for the most part. So I was kind of hoping price would dump a little bit until 7 o'clock, and then we'll have that correction to the upside. But obviously price already went straight up on open here. If you guys were taking the liquidity, here's a liquidity push that just played through, actually pushed through to the next level. So I don't know if anybody caught the trade. I'm not going to count the trade because I didn't take it. I'm only counting trades here that I'm actually taking myself. So if you guys took the liquidity push here on open, straight to TP, it actually happened pre-market. So I wouldn't have taken it. You can see over here, it got knocked out. It got pretty much triggered a minute before market open, 6:29. And then it blasted right through at 6:30 right here and hit the next level. So I don't know if anybody caught it. Maria said she took it, but slippage took half of her profits. Yeah, that happens. But yeah, there goes the liquidity push. So as you guys can see here, the liquidity push strategy still works very well. This actually hit pre-market. So obviously I wouldn't have taken that one. The next level would have been up here. And this one's still technically running. Looks like it's about to hit TP right there, but I'm not going to count the trade. You guys can see here that the strategy works. I'm just not counting the trade because I didn't take it. I only count the trades that I take personally. So if I'm not taking the trade myself, then I'm not counting it as a win, even though it was a win. I just want to be transparent with you guys and not count. I'm not just going to stack wins here. So yeah, liquidity push is still running right here. I do think it'll probably hit, but it's overextended right here. Price is pushed up way too far out. And it's probably due for retracement, which is exactly what's happening right here. So we'll come back and take a look later. Talanji said that the breakout as well. Yeah, the breakout happened right here too. So we had a bullish momentum, bullish trend meter. Right here on open was the breakout basically. So it's just a bit of a messy move, which was expected. Today's Monday. So, if you guys are new to the market, just keep in mind that Mondays and Fridays are usually the riskier days to trade, because for Monday, a lot of people are re-entering the market from the weekend. That's why you have this big push to the upside. Because a lot of people sold off on Friday and now they're buying right back in on Monday. So Fridays are risky because people are selling off. Mondays are risky because people are buying in. But then what happens is you get a lot of manipulation here. People will buy in, and then people who are pretty much holding over the weekend, they just sell off once they make some money. And that's why prices are coming right back down. So nothing special here. I mean, this is typical for a Monday. And now as price continues to bounce around, we'll look for the direction. I mean, I'm assuming today's going to be bullish. You can see from the bias over here. I'm expecting everything here to be bullish. But it's just going to be a matter of time until we can really confirm the direction and taking your entries, because you can see right here, price came right back down to opening price, right? My blue line I marked up right here. Came right back down. So you can see this was all a manipulated push on open. That's why I didn't really chase it. You know, I've traded long enough to see this move happen one too many times. Pretty much lures in a bunch of buyers, drops back down to fake people out. And then this fake out right here is actually luring in some more sellers. So you can see how price is coming down right here. What do you think is happening here with people's logic, right? There's 70% of traders who are on the sell side right now. I'm pretty sure there's more people who are going to try to chase that sell even more. So 70% right here, if this number goes up to 71%, you already know that there's people who are chasing this drop to the downside. I actually want this drop to the downside right here, because when price comes back up, we're going to be ready to take those buys. So I don't really care that price is coming down right here. I actually want price to come down so that when we have the opportunity for entry, we can just chase it to the upside, right? And that's really what this game is all about, is being about 2 steps ahead of the game. Because if everyone's chasing the sell here, we're looking for that correction to the upside, because our bias here is still bullish. So just gotta sit tight and wait for some sort of confirmation here. All right, so the fundamentals are now down 80 points. It's still bearish neutral, but we will see what happens here in the next, let's say 10-15 minutes. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the market to stabilize over here a little bit. A lot of unpredictability going on. Let me just clean this up a little bit. So you guys can see over here where price came back down to. It came right back down to opening price. There's a V1 variation setting up right here. I'm not going to take the trade because, you know, it's too messy, but this is a V1 variation right here, as you guys can see. Looks like it already hit TP, yeah. So double body rejection right there. Overall bias is bullish. It's a V1 variation, correction back to the upside. It's a reversal pattern right there. Met criteria. And it is still pushing up right here. So again, you know, I have a whole list of strategies, guys. If you guys know my strategies here, you guys can take these entries that come up as V1 variation. I'm not taking it because I'm focusing on just one strategy, the momentum pullback scalp. I'm going to stick to my game plan, and I'm just going to stick to that strategy. So if you guys want to look at other strategies, you know, feel free. There's a lot that are coming through over here. Yeah, also, and Rick said that there was a high-low momentum scalp right here too. So I know some of you guys are applying that strategy. I think Kevin, who else is applying it? Purity. I don't know if Purity is here right now. Purity's not here right now. Zach as well. Yeah, there's a high-low momentum scalp that came up right here, guys. So you guys can see there's 2 back-to-back strategies that came up. There's a higher high right here, sell signal that broke and closed past pivot, or actually there wasn't a high-low. So there actually wasn't one right here. Because this candle broke and closed past it, Rick. So this is actually not a high-low momentum scalp. It looked close though, but following the criteria, it was not an entry. Brian also mentioned that there was an SR rejection scalp as well. Nice. Solange said there's a 10-minute snipe setting up too. So if you guys know my strategies, you know, check out the Zoom chat. There's a lot of people here in the group who know all of my older strategies. Talanji's talking about the 10-minute snipe. Brian was talking about the SR rejection scalp. There was a V1 right there. Also, Rick was talking about the high-low momentum scalp. That was actually not one, because this candle here broke and closed past pivots 1 and 2, but it did look like it could have been one. And if it did, it still pushed through pretty solid. Yeah, I would have blasted right through the TP if that was an actual entry. It's all good. Good to see that you guys here are still using the old strategies, I mean, they still work fine. It's just I can't focus on like 10 strategies at once. I got to focus on just one, or else we'll miss entries. So 640, it's 640 right now, almost. In the next 5 or 10 minutes, we'll start looking for some momentum pullback scalps. I'm going to go ahead and mark up the levels now because volatility is really starting to pick up and smoothing out. So I'm going to go over here and mark up the 10 marks. So that you guys have an idea where retracement and entries will be happening. All right, so we got the charts marked up here. Volatility is pretty nice. Direction hasn't really been established yet, but we are going to be looking for some possible entries. So we have a pending buy signal right here, which is cool. We need that buy signal to close. Once it closes, we can start looking for possible opportunities here. But we do have a bullish direction. So we have a bullish direction. We just need momentum to confirm it. So the reason why the direction is bullish right now is because price is above the pivots. The pivots are angling up. Trend meter down below is green. You can see obviously price is likely to continue pushing up higher. On top of that, we have bullish bias with regard to today's overall bias. So it's safe to say that we're probably going to look for some buys today. We just need a confirmation of it to push up a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Patricia said would like that to push up a bit more. I agree. I need price to be somewhere around here with a buy signal, so that once we get that buy signal, we get that retracement, and that's where we make our entry, right? So just got to be patient, guys. It's still early. It's 6:40 right now. So just keep that in mind, guys. There's no rush for these entries. You just got to wait and be patient for the setups to happen. Right now, we just don't have that setup yet, but eventually we're going to have that setup, and it's just going to provide us a smooth entry. So not really rushing anything here. I'm really just waiting for that buy signal. If we can get this buy signal here, then we can start looking for possible entries. The one thing I don't want to happen here is I don't want price to go sideways. That's like the thing that I don't want to happen here. I'm going to go and update the zones over here real quick. This is a clean chart so that you guys can understand where structure is sitting. I mean, it's not too hard to see. You guys can kind of see here. This is the range. All right, so there goes the price ranging right there in between this higher high and this lower low. Price is pretty much just going sideways, but it is going up. It's more of an upward sideways. But again, we're just waiting for this buy signal here to come up. Once the buy signal comes up, great, we can start looking for some possible entries here. But right now we don't have that buy signal. So we got this buy signal here, which is pending. We have about 10 seconds left on the candle. We just got to wait for it to actually confirm. Once it confirms, great, we can start looking for possible entry. All right, we got the buy signal right there. We have this current candle that we're tracing down. If this candle comes down to this point right here, I'm not going to take the entry. I need price to push up a bit higher, just like Patricia mentioned earlier. This right here just setting up for some sort of fake out. So I actually want a green candle to close right here, and I want it to push up higher because this is too close. If price comes down to this point, we might get an opposite sell signal, and then we'll just have to close out early for a small loss, which I don't want to do that. I'd rather wait for a quality entry to come up. 6:43 right now. We still got a lot of time, so there's no rush. We got about 20 seconds left on this candle. Needed to push up a little bit higher. It's a little too low right now. All right, we got 10 seconds left on this candle right here. It's fine if it closes right here, but if it comes down and tries to fill this area, we got to wait for another momentum signal. I'm not going to take the specific entry at this point. All right, so that's exactly what I was worried about. See how price came back down? We have a sell signal. That's why I didn't want to take the trade. So I'm not in this position right here. I gave you guys the heads up already, so I already knew this was going to play out. It's still faking out, like Maddie said. So Maddie said it's still faking out. I agree. And I'm not going to get caught in these fake outs. You know, I've been trading this this asset for long enough where I can understand when these fake outs are coming through. So right here, technically the entry should have been right here, but I was going to take that trade because that trade was just a little too risky for me. So I'm not in this position here, but this would technically be the entry if you were looking to take this here. Yeah, exactly. Randy said from the back test, the first 30 minutes has too many fake outs. I agree 100%, Randy. And I agree with you too. So that's why I'm a little more careful here on open. So it's still not even 7 o'clock. We typically are supposed to take these entries at 7 o'clock or at least after 6:45. It's 6:44 right now. So the TP would have hit. If you guys took it, great work. If you guys didn't, it's completely fine. I don't want to get caught in this fake out right here. But I just wanted to show you guys that the entry did come up here. So now that this entry here has come up, I'm going to have to wait for another buy signal. So I need price to push up. I need price to fake out and then push up higher. That's what I need to happen. Okay. So now at this moment, we're just going to be waiting for confirmation again. So we need price to retrace back down, and then we're looking for the confirmation. But you guys can see this is the strategy right here. We had a confirmation of direction. We had a buy signal right here. Price retrace down a little bit. Entry would be at the next 10 level right there. I didn't take it because obvious reason. It's not even 7 yet, so I would have been cheating if I would have took it this early. But price is bullish. Everything's pointing toward the buy now. So I'm mainly looking to take buys for today. But there we go. We got the setup right there, played out perfect. Now we're just going to wait for the next one. So technically you can take multiple entries per momentum signal, but I'm not going to do that because we've done the back test. It kind of balances out to the same way because you're going to eat more losses taking this type of entry. However, I mean, you'll win more because there's going to be more entries for you to take. Let's see. Brian said another V1 variation. Yeah, there was one down here. So another V1 variation right there, guys. There was one down here and one right here. Double body rejection, pending buy signal. There were two back to back. If anybody caught those V1 variations. So again, if you guys know that strategy, that's the V1 variation. You know, just pull up the strategy on the course. The strategy is taught in the course. If you guys pull up the course, this is what it looks like. You just scroll down to scalp strategies. Right here, KT trade scalp strategies. It's going to be the V1 variation right here. Click on that. And then you got a whole video explaining to you that strategy. So nice work, Jeff, if you caught that. But that one hit solid. Talanji said the 10-minute snipe hit full TP2. So if you guys took the 10-minute snipe, that's a 500 pip move. Pretty nice. Sam's asking, does the sessions matter when looking for the pullback strategy? Sort of, but not really. So I don't really use, I don't avoid it if I see it, Sam, but you know, sometimes it just depends on the market conditions. If the market's super choppy and it's bouncing around a lot, then obviously I would probably not take it. But I haven't really incorporated into something that I avoid trades for. So at the moment, no, I'm not really using it. It's not really a big deal. For me personally, I mean, some people still use it, but for me, not necessarily. All right, so we need a retracement momentum signal. We're looking for a sell signal to come up here. Once the sell signal comes up, then we can start looking for a continuation to the upside. I'm just gonna wait. Yeah, there's a lot of entries that came up. So nice work, guys, identifying the V1 variations here. Also the 10-minute snipe. I haven't seen people apply the 10-minute snipe in a long time, but Talanji's like one of the guys who's been looking at that over the years. I think Talanji's been looking at the 10-minute snipe since I created it. What was it, like 2-3 years ago? Maybe even longer, actually. but it still hits. It's just you have to be very patient applying the 10-minute strategy because it doesn't come up very often. It'll come up so often, but when it does come up, it usually hits. Here we go. As price starts to pull down a little bit. Chase is asking, what's the latest and greatest strategy? I mean, all the strategies are great. There's not necessarily anything that's better than the other. This one is just better for us personally because we're able to cut losses earlier if necessary. I mean, we really don't cut losses early very much, but like last week. So last week we had to cut losses twice. Instead of having a 250 pip stop loss, we just cut it at 100 pips. So we took a trade right after, we made it right back. And then a couple days after, we cut our losses at 40 points or 40 pips. We ended up taking another trade right after, and it covered it plus made profit on top of the trade. So I mean, all the strategies are great. None of them are. I don't teach bad strategies. Like none of my strategies here are not necessarily good. They're all good. It just depends on the person who's applying it. You know, not everyone can follow directions properly for every strategy because they're all slightly different. Randy's asking if I'm having trouble connecting Tradeovate and TradingView. No, mine seems fine over here. I logged in. So every morning, guys, I just reset everything. So I logged out of my Tradeovate and then I logged back in, and my Tradeovate looks fine down here. Yeah, I'm logged into the account right here. My buttons work perfectly fine. I mean, we'll see when I actually take a trade, Randy, but I haven't taken a trade yet, so I can't say for sure if there's any issues. Let's see. Slava's asking, Sean, what prop firm you took? Can't remember the name, and if you can share the link, I'll take one more tomorrow because finished all the phases on fortune funding. Yeah, sure. So I'll send it in the groups over here. Slava. It's called Top Step. That's what I've been using. That's how I trade directly on TradingView. So yeah, I'll send it right here in the Zoom as well if you want to get it. And then I'll also post it over here. So guys, if you guys are not familiar with Top Step, this is the funding company that I've been using lately. This is how I'm able to trade directly on TradingView and how I'm able to trade directly with the futures broker here versus, you know, using some sort of FX broker. So they're good. The only problem is that they do have some technical issues. So like sometimes I'll enter a trade and then like the trade shows up, or if I hit my TP, it doesn't disappear on my TradingView, but it does fix on my actual trading platform. So if you guys want to use that link right now, they're having a special going on where it's like 60 to 70% off. And then if you use this link that I sent you guys, they give you an extra $50 off. So to do 150K challenge, they call it a combine. It's normally like 375 a month, but if you use a link that I sent you guys right here in the group chat and in the Zoom, it's only 149, and then on top of that you get a $50 credit. So it's like you're paying $100 for a 150K account, which is pretty good, and you get to trade directly on TradingView. So I posted a link in the groups if you guys want to use it. You guys don't have to use it, but I mean, how are you going to turn away free money, right? If I had the option to pay 149 versus pay, or if I had the option to pay 375 for 150K challenge versus 149 plus get a $50 credit, so I'm paying like $100 for it, I would take the discount, right? So yeah, no, the link is posted in the groups, guys. If you guys want to use it, it's pretty cool. I like how it works, and I like how the combine works because it's only a one-step rule. There's no max daily loss. So if you guys saw FTMO actually took off their trading days, they did that in reaction to Top Step, because Top Step actually came out with that no minimum trading days, and then also the one-step process. So there's a lot of competition going on between the prop firms right now, which is good for us because it's going to give us better terms for our trading. So yeah, if you guys want to use it, feel free. You guys don't have to use it, but I personally like trading on TradingView. It's a lot easier. Chase is was asking, do you always have a new strategy for the current market conditions? So the strategies aren't really that new, Chase. If you look at all the strategies that come up, they're all slightly different. They're the same strategy, but just different entry points. Like the V1, V2, V3 variations, they're all the same strategy. It's just different entry points. For this strategy over here that we're applying the momentum pullback scalp, this is actually one of the very first strategies that I applied when I first started scalping. I made a lot of profit trading it, but I also lost a lot because I didn't have the indicators back then. Now that I have the indicators, I'm able to identify when to enter and when not to enter. Back then, I would just enter every single trade. But now that I have the indicators, I know to wait for momentum because I didn't have a momentum indicator back then. I would just take every trade, right? Price is pushing up. I'll just take every buy as price pushes up. Like for example, here, if I had no indicators, or actually, I'll just show you this chart over here. So like say, for example, like this is a clean chart, right? I would just take a bunch of buys. But now that I have the indicators here to identify, okay, what is momentum? What is the trend? What is the direction? What is, everything like the trend meter, the pivots, the momentum signal. Now I know, okay, once I get a momentum signal, I just take one entry per momentum signal because that's almost a guaranteed win, right? So that's why like this strategy, I just never really taught to anybody and I never really used it after I applied the other intraday strategies. But now that I'm mainly focused on scalping, I just had an epitome that I was like, okay, let me go back to my old strategies that used to work very well for me when I first started trading, and let me see if I can improve them. And that's what I did here. So, like if you guys ever follow, I don't know if you guys followed me before K2 was even a thing. Like a lot of you guys have been following me with my trading journey, like before I even started K2. I used to post profits all the time. And I would kind of explain how the strategy worked, but I couldn't really explain how to avoid losses. But now that I have the indicators, I'm able to avoid the losses. So yeah, this just brings me back to like my first year of trading, because I lost a lot of money my first year. So my first year of trading, I made a lot of money, but I lost a lot of money. It ended up being a negative year for me my first 2 years actually, because I didn't really know what I was doing, but now I do. So it works. Hey Aaron, how's it going? Nice, thanks Aaron. Yeah, so Aaron in the YouTube chat over there, guys, one of the guys from Australia, I believe, he trades Asia session. So if you guys ever want to see, he day trades too, just like me. He live trades. If you guys want to go check out his channel too. I know some of you guys like to trade Asia session into London. Aaron actually trades Asia into London. He trades at, I believe, gold most of the time, and then I think some NQ. So if you guys want to check out his channel, respectable guy, if you want to go check him out. Yeah, and actually, I figured out Top Step from him too. So yeah, if you guys want to check his channel out, he's good. He's someone that I recommend. I don't recommend anybody, but Aaron is solid. All right, guys. So we have let's see. Brian is asking if the 648 entry. If 648 was an entry at 340, let me see, 648. Yeah, so Brian over here is asking if this over here was an entry. This is technically an entry if you're taking multiple entries per momentum. So yeah, this is an entry right here, Brian. We had price push up right here. We had the retracement signal. The entry actually would have happened. So there's two opportunities for entry right here. Your entry could have happened at this level, or it could have happened at this level down here. So whichever level you wanted to take it, I probably would have just entered right here. If I was looking for this, I would have just entered a market order because it closed right at the level. So there's two different areas you could have entered from, there or down here. But it just depends on like where you would have wanted to enter. If you felt, if you wanted to be careful, you'd wait for it to pull back to this area. If you wanted to enter from right here, you could enter from right there too. But I wouldn't have taken it myself personally because I only take one per momentum. So I'm basically looking for a retracement right here. Looking for price to retrace down, and then looking for this to continue back up higher. It's just a matter of time until that's going to come up. It hasn't even hit 7 yet, surprisingly. I thought it was 7 already, but once it hits 7, volatility should start to smoothen out. And then from there, we can start looking for some entries. As you guys can see, price is going sideways right here, so it's not a big deal. We wouldn't be looking for entries here to begin with, because we try to avoid ranging markets. Yeah, Aaron said appreciate it, man. Yeah, mainly trade gold in Asia and London, almost 12 a.m. here right now in Brisbane. I know it's crazy. We have some traders here too that are from Australia as well, Aaron. It's crazy how you guys stay up this late. It's midnight over there and you guys are still up trading. It's hard to avoid New York session though, because New York session is like, in my opinion, I think it's the best session to trade in. You have a mix of volatility from London crossing over into New York. And it's pretty consistent. So yeah, no, you guys are troopers for staying up that late to trade Asia session or trade New York session actually. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So Daniel over here said, seems that everyone's following suit with no trading day limit. I agree. I think MFF is also following the lead too. iPhone is asking if the 1 hour is setting up. If there's a buy signal, it could be setting up. I don't think there's a buy signal here yet. Let me see on the 1 hour. Yeah, it can be set. So if there's actually there's no buy signal here. So there's no 1 hour over here, iPhone, because there was a sell signal that came up right here. But yeah, there was one setting up prior, but the sell signal came up. So there was actually no entry there for the 1 hour entry, unfortunately. All right, guys, so it's now 7 o'clock. We're looking for a buy signal here to confirm direction. It's okay if price pulls back a little further, but we're looking for a buy signal to come up here. Once that buy signal comes up, we can look for possible entry here as price continues to follow along. So we'll see where this goes. Yeah, I know iPhone said it just closed on the last 1 minute. Yeah, I know that happens a lot. But it's good that you were following it, because if you weren't following it, that's where it kind of gets messy. Because that's happened to me before, where I'm not following it because I'm not at my computer, and then I would end up taking trades kind of randomly. Talanji said 71% short. Yikes, giving all-time high vibes. Yeah, I agree with you too, Talanji. Looks like sentiment's starting to pick up. So this is actually good for us. If sentiment's picking up on the sell side, then it's beneficial for us because we want to keep trading on the buy side if that's the case. And like what Talanji said, that it just means that all-time highs are probably gonna get hit, or they're gonna get passed at some point. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. So we'll see. I gotta make some adjustments here though, because we don't have no levels up there. So let me see. I'm gonna put this up higher. This up higher. And we are good to go. So we got the buy signal right there pending, and we got to wait for it to actually close. But once it closes, we will start looking for possible entry here. I'm just waiting for that buy signal to close. Once it closes, we can start looking for possible entry. Maddie said might drop and fake out. Next green momentum should be nice. Yeah, I agree too, Maddie. So I'm looking for that buy signal to come up, push up slightly. So I mean, you guys already know the pattern. Looking for a buy signal here, looking for that to push up slightly, retrace down a little bit, and then push back up, and that's where I'm going to make my entry. But we really just need that buy signal. That buy signal is going to give us confirmation of momentum. I mean, technically, you can do this without indicators. Like I mentioned before, I used to apply the strategy without any indicators. The only problem is you don't know when to enter and when not to enter, because it's really difficult to identify momentum without using my momentum indicator here. Not to say that it's impossible, but it's pretty difficult because you don't really know when to stop. All right, so we got the buy signal right here. We're looking for retracement. I don't want price to retrace right here. I need price to push up a bit higher. So I actually don't want a red candle right here. I want price to continue pushing up higher with a green candle. If it pulls down to this area, I'm not taking the entry if it comes down to here like it did earlier. It's just too risky. Too risky in my opinion, because it's Monday and market is actually ranging right now. So it's not really doing too much. It's actually just going sideways for the most part. Here's the clean chart. So as you guys can see, I'll just make some adjustments over here. And you can see prices just ranging down this area. So I'm not really looking to take anything unless we have a direction. So back to the first criteria, you need to confirm direction of price. We do not have the direction of price here just yet because price is going sideways. So I need price to push away from this area. Price technically closed like right at this area right here, but it's fine. If price pushes up further, we'll take the next opportunity that comes up. But we need price to actually push away from where it's currently at. So right here where price is at currently, I need price to actually, go a bit farther out, something like that. And then I'll take entry around here. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said needed to break the high, then retrace. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Maddie's on point with that. Randy said, hopefully it doesn't range on top here. Might end up ranging if it closes red. Yeah, I agree with you too, Randy. So we need price to actually break this high. So I need price to push past this high right here, basically past this level, and then retrace and then continue pushing up higher. So it's fine if price pushes past this area and then retraces from here, because I'm okay with taking entry from here if that becomes the case. I need price to push away from here. Okay, so price is coming up and testing this high right here. Let's see if it actually pushes past it. You can see right there, it's rejecting directly off that high. Yeah, Maddie said might pull in some more sellers. Either way, just be patient, no need to rush. I agree. So we got price pushing past the level now. Okay, so this is good for us. Now that price has pushed past that high, now I'm looking for the retracement. Once we get that retracement, I'll be looking to take my buy here. All right, I need price to actually push up a little higher. If it retraces down to this level, it's not going to be entry for me. I need price to actually push up a little further so I can take entry at this level right here. So we actually need another green candle. This red candle is not going to suffice. We need to push up a little bit higher. I'm going to make sure my pending order is actually set this time. Yes, if you guys remember from last week, I accidentally put a market order and I was in the position a little too early. I mean, it hit TP, but I was in the position way too early. We've got about 25 seconds left on this candle right here. So I need this candle to push up a little bit higher, and then the next candle can be a retracement and be fine with that. All right, price is pushing up a bit. Okay, looking for a retracement here now. The retracement doesn't need to be that far back. It can be right here if necessary. All right, so we got price pushing up. I mean, it's pushing up pretty farther now. All right, so we're really just looking for this retracement now. It's pretty much stopping people out. You can see over here, Maddie mentioned that the sentiment was like 71%, 72%. It's now back to 70%. So people who pretty much got stopped out who was chasing. Entry could possibly happen right here, maybe at the 30 mark. So we've got about 40 seconds left on this candle. I mean, if it drops down lower right here, that's fine too. It's gonna be at the 20. When it gets closer to close, I'll see what it is looking like here. This thing could just sweep all the way back up. We've got 10 seconds left. Looks like entry will be at the 20 level down here. All right, got the pending order right there set up. Pretty much just waiting for this here. You guys will hear my order filled if it fills it.
Order filled.
Let's see what this is down here. All right, looks like all my contracts were filled. Currently in the position right now. It's going to follow it, see where this goes through to. See the other one. I mean, it's just a waiting game at this point. I'm already in the order. Now it's got to wait. The only thing is if we get a sell signal, we got to cut the losses. So just keep that in mind, guys. Yeah, so we have a pending sell signal right here. If the sell signal closes, I'm cutting losses early, which is completely fine. I'd rather cut losses than have to hold on to it. So I'm watching it right here. If this closes in the next 30 seconds or so, it's going to cut the losses. So I'm watching it right here. We still got 30 seconds left on it. So if it hits my stop, it's fine too. Still holding it. Sell signal did not close yet. See, we got 10 seconds left on the candle. All right, I didn't close. I'm still holding it. If it hits my stop loss, that's fine. Eat the loss, move on to the next one. But if it does close, I got to close out early. All right, it's all good. Ate the loss on that one. It's typical for Monday. On to the next one, guys. So ate the loss on this trade right here. I wasn't expecting it to come down this heavy, but as you can see, price was overextended. So it was a given. Anyways, on to the next trade here. We're looking for a retracement. So we actually need the sell signal to come up. And then once the sell signal comes up, we can look for another entry. But right now, we just don't have any opportunity for entry just yet. Yeah, I ate the loss on that trade, guys. It's all good. Still early in the week. So now if we get a sell signal right here, we're looking for another buy signal. So we need a sell signal here to hit. And then I need a buy signal to come up next. And then from there, we can look for another entry. So we got the sell signal right here. This is fine. Now that we have a sell signal, we need another buy signal to push price back up. So once we get the next buy entry or buy signal, we'll look for price to push back up. And we'll just climb our way back to the upside. So rinse and repeat, just wait for another setup to come up. And then from there, we will look for the next entry. Let's see. Question from BB's asking, do Top Step? No, Top Step doesn't copy to FTMO and MFF. There's no copy service for that, unfortunately. So if you want to trade FTMO and MFF as well, you have to just you have to do it manually. Because the platforms are completely different. Let's see. Yeah, Solange said typical Monday. Yeah, this is usual. I mean, Mondays are either really good or they're either really bad. So, I mean, if you guys remember from last week was a good Monday. So I was okay with taking risk today. So let's see, last Monday, was it July 10th? Yeah, last Monday was good for us. We had 2 back-to-back wins. You know, I was up like 3,500 on the main account, basically 3,000 on every account. So it's just a toss-up. You don't really know if the money is going to be good or not. So the only way to know is to take the trade. And you can't be scared taking the trade. Like you can't be okay one week and then be scared the next week, right? You have to be the same mind. You have to have the mindset like the same pretty much every day you're trading. So, and you have to be okay with eating losses. That's the key. That's a key thing as well. So you have to be okay with eating losses and then okay with taking risks, because you never really know if the market's going to be smooth or not. Today volatility was pretty high, so I was kind of expecting maybe our TPs to hit right away, but you know, this happens where price retraces super hard like this, and you can see price is now pushing back up. So we kind of just got caught in this like fake out right here. where price came up, faked out, and then got caught in that trade there. But I wouldn't be surprised if price pushes all the way back up. Because entry was technically, where was it, right here? Yeah, so if price pushes all the way back up, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes all the way back to where it's supposed to go. I'm not going to enter late, but I want to mark this up right here. Because it literally just tapped our stop loss right there. So our entry was right there. It tapped stop loss, and then now it's pushing back up. Let's see, question from Daniel. Daniel's asking, do we need to watch double bodies on retracement? Not really. I never looked at it. Because even if you get a double body like that, if the overall bias is bullish, then that's usually just a temporary push to the downside, and then it usually goes back up. So I don't necessarily look for any opposite signs of movement, especially on the 1 minute, because the 1 minute there's a lot of noise. Maybe if you're on a higher time frame, like the 1 hour, 3 minute, 4 hour, then yeah, the opposite direction would kind of signify something. But for the most part, not really. Like for example, right here, there's a double body right here. Yeah, I know. Right here, double body, price came down slightly, but then it came all the way back up. So I don't necessarily look at that very much. Okay, we have a buy signal right here. So if we get this buy signal, we're going to look for the same thing, look for the retracement, and then opportunity for entry. We just need that buy signal to close. Once the buy signal closes, then we'll have opportunity for entry to look for another buy to come into this trade. But we didn't get that. So this last candle over here didn't close. Still waiting for it to come up. Let's see. See, B's asking, sorry, step away. Yeah, so there's no way to copy your trades from Top Step to MT4 because they're different platforms, B. At least not any way that I know personally. If you know a way, then let me know, or if anybody knows a way, let us know. But from what I've looked at a bunch of different options. There's no way to copy Top Step to FTMO or MT4 just in general. So you can't copy them over. You have to trade them manually. Yeah, exactly. So that's pretty much what I do too. Same thing. I still trade both if I have the opportunity to. Like for example, if I have an entry here and then I'm able to enter on my FTMO, I have to do them separately. So if I can put a pending order here and I can manually enter on FTMO, I'll do it. But most of the time, I'm not really doing that unless I have the opportunity. Because it's hard to, like, if the trade's happening too fast, it's too hard for us to make those adjustments. So I think what I might have to do is I might have to invest in, or not really invest, but I have to buy some sort of quick trade tool that I can use next to my mouse, so I can just hit buy on both, or if you know, just something to enter on my MT4 quicker. But yeah, I just do it manually. So I pretty much set the pending order over here on TradingView, and if I have time, then I'll switch over to my FTMO, and then I have my quick trade manager ready. So I just hit buy or sell, and I enter the trade at the same time. And that's pretty much how I do it right now. The process works fine. I've been doing it and it works okay, but you know, obviously it'd be nicer if there's a copier. B's asking, social trader tools doesn't allow Tradeovate. No, it doesn't. They only have ability to copy between MT4 and MT5. So unfortunately, no futures brokers. I think they used to allow for C-Trader, but they don't allow for any futures brokers like Tradeovate, TradeStation, etc. Because they're like totally different platforms too. I mean, they're different platforms, but they're also different assets. Because when you're trading with a futures broker, you're trading off YM. And then when you're trading on FTMO, you're trading the Forex equivalent or indice equivalent, which is US30. Chase is asking if I'm still with FTMO and MFF. Yeah, I'm still using both of them. I typically enter these 1 hour entries on my FTMO because you can just set forget them. But if I can copy them at the same time, or if I can take the same trade at the same time, I'll take them as well. Nick's asking, so you have a Top Step account now, and you can use trading for your trades. Yeah, exactly, Nick. That's the best part about it, where you can trade directly on here. And then as you guys see, it's easier for you guys to take the same trades I'm taking too, because you guys can see my markups get set up here. Like you can't really fake this, right? Like you guys can see that I took a loss here because you can see that I entered right here and then I lost here. So this is just another step towards being transparent for you guys. Because with a lot of people, it's hard to tell. Like, for example, when I'm trading off MT4, it's hard for you guys to see when I'm entering the trade because it's on a different screen. But when I do it directly here on TradingView, it pretty much takes out the guesswork, right? You're able to see everything done real time, which is, obviously beneficial for everybody here. Barney said to get magic keys. I've been thinking about magic keys, but I'm not sure if magic keys will be as beneficial as so here's the thing with magic keys. If anybody uses it, do you know if I have to click on the screen to use it? So for example, here, if I'm clicking on the screen here and I click my magic keys button, like say, for example, I'm trading on TradingView, but I hit buy on my magic keys, but my MC4 is on a totally different screen. Will that still execute the trade, or will I have to be on that actual screen to execute it? That's what I'm curious about, because I don't want to go and buy the magic keys and then it doesn't work, right? Not that cost really matters, but I don't want to have a big clunky tool to like not have use for it if I can't execute the trades like that. I look at the on-screen one, but the on-screen is kind of pointless too, because I can just use a quick trade manager on my screen over here as well. All right, we got the buy signal right here, guys, but I need price to push away. As you guys can see, the volatility here has died down quite a bit. Market's pretty slow right now, not too much going on. I'm pretty much just looking for price to push away from this area. So again, I'm looking for the same setup. We have a buy signal right here. I'm looking for price to push up slightly, retrace, and continue up higher. Take entry on that point there. But the volatility here is very low. Price is just going sideways here. Not really too much to take away from where price is moving to. It's just a messy market. This is Monday, so pretty usual for Monday. And it's fine, because if it continues to move like this, then it's just going to pick up. It's going to pick up into the week. So let me check the calendar real quick, actually. So for this week so far, I think tomorrow we have core retail sales, industrial production capacity, utilization rate, FOMC member, bar speaking. I mean, it's not high. There's not a lot of crazy news happening this week. Building permits, housing starts, crude oil inventories, unemployment claims, Philly manufacturing index. There's not too much going on this week. There's there's some news events, but nothing too crazy. Next week is going to be Fed week, so that's going to be the big news week. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff next week. Next week is actual Fed week. So I think this week market's going to be kind of mellow. It's not going to be too crazy. There's going to be movement, but it's not going to be all that crazy. There's actually pre-market news here. I just noticed there was Empire State Manufacturing Index at 5:30. Not that it matters, because 5:30 is way down here. But there was news earlier this morning. Yeah, so I'm not expecting too much news to happen today. It's pretty much just going to be, or this week in general. There's going to be some news events, but it's not going to be enough to really like push price around. Last week was inflation week. We had PPI, CPI news. This week it's pretty much normal news. Next week we have Fed week, so a lot of Fed news going on. It basically just goes hand in hand with the inflation news plus the recession that's been looming. So, I mean, we'll see. Let me scroll up real quick. iPhone is asking, do you think that trade lost because there was a V1 pending for a sell? So I don't really look at that. That's the same question that Daniel asked about, this one over here. He was talking about the double body, right? The reversal pattern. So I don't necessarily look at that unless the bias is bearish. So if we had a bearish bias, I would have looked at it. But since there was no bearish bias, I wouldn't really pay any attention to that because there was also a V1 that came up right here. We're not even a V1, it's just a double body. So this wouldn't be a V1 because you need to be trading in the direction of bias. Bias is bullish. So there's a double body right here. Price came down and it shot all the way up. So same with this one right here. I wouldn't pay any attention to it unless like, it specifically was going in that direction. So I don't think that really had too much of a play. I mean, obviously you can see right here, price kind of just faked out and it's coming right back up. Price is now pushing up right here. So if it retraces right here, there's technically an entry that could be taken right over here. So, I mean, there's not too much of a direction here, but if price does retrace down, there's possibly an entry that can be taken like at this point right here, which would be at the 10 mark. So if this closes, I'll take this one here as well. So we got about 30 seconds left on here. If price closes on the line or above it, then I'll be placing my pending order right here. Solange's asking, so the invalid signal doesn't matter? No, it doesn't matter because you still have direction and momentum. The invalid was just on that specific candle right there, but the momentum doesn't really matter because it's still bullish. You can see price still pushing up, even though the actual momentum signal was invalid. All right, so if it drops below here, I'm not taking the trade. I'm not taking it this low. It's too far down below. Yeah, I'm not taking the trade there. You can see the reason why I don't do that is because this happens right here. You get an opposite signal that comes up. So no entry there. I mean, technically the entry would have been down here, but I wouldn't have taken it. So technically this would have been the entry because price did close below this black line right here. And if it closes below here, you're supposed to enter at the next level, which would be down here. So this would have been the entry point. It looks like it got filled. And it looks like it's pushing up to target right there. Yep. See if it hits. Unfortunately, no entry there. I don't even know if it filled. Let me go scroll in a little further. So it looks like it actually didn't fill. So if you scroll in close enough, you can see that the price point right there actually did not fill the order. It got close to it, but it didn't actually fill. The volatility today is just not very stable. So you can see over here on open market, open over here at 630, volatility is very high, picked up a little bit, went sideways, picked up a little bit. So when we took this entry over here, I thought price was going to keep moving, but it didn't really keep moving. It just kind of flattened out a little bit and then it died out. This entry here actually didn't get filled yet. So if price pushes up higher and we don't get a sell signal, or I mean, it doesn't matter if we get a sell signal, we'll just wait for another buy signal. But technically, if price continues to push up higher from where it's currently at, we still have opportunity for entry here. I prefer to get the sell signal though, so I actually want the sell signal here to close, and then we'll wait for it to reset one more time. It's 7:30 right now, so we still have 30 minutes till 8. It's not really okay, so the entry actually did fill right here. I'm not in this position, but I just want to show you guys the entry. So buy signal right here, price pushed up, retracement. This is the retracement right here. So the entry would have happened at this level. That's where the entry would have been right there. And it did hit TP. So unfortunately, we didn't take this trade. I wouldn't have taken it because price pulled back a little too far. We had that pending sell signal, but you can see this is a strategy that we're applying. This is what we were looking for. We wait for price to push up in a direction. We had the retracement right here. It broke and closed past this black line. Entry would have been down here. This candle didn't fill it, but this one right here did fill it and it pushed right to TP. So the strategy is pretty simple. It's just really looking for the opportunities for entry. So unfortunately, we didn't take this trade here. This would have, recouped some of the losses from the original trade over here. But there's another example of the strategy right there being applied. Momentum signal, upwards direction, bullish overall bias, price retrace right here. Entry would have happened at the next 10 level, which is right here, and then would have pushed up to TP. But it's all good. We're still going to wait for another opportunity here to come up. And that would have been good because that would have recouped some of the loss from that last trade, but it's all good. We just got to be patient and wait for this to provide another entry. It's okay because the market's not really doing too much here anyways. So it would have been a bit of an iffy entry since price is just going sideways. Here's a clean chart. You guys can see here that there's not really too much going on. Price pushed up, faked out, came back down, but it's been going down this range for like the past hour, basically. Thanks, Chase. So Chase confirmed that I can have another screen up on another monitor. So do you guys know if you can set, so with the magic keys, for you guys here who actually use the magic keys, do you know if you can set an automatic TP stop loss? So say, for example, I enter a market order, can I have an automatic, like TP stop losses already placed up, kind of like how it does with the quick trade manager? I'm just curious because I think that's the main thing that I need. I need basically quick entry, and then I also need a TP stop loss to be automatically set. Because if that's the case, then yeah, I don't mind spending like $100 on magic keys. Cool, thanks, Patricia. All right, so Patricia confirmed it. You know, I might put in an order for the magic keys just to be able to copy my trades, because unfortunately there's no copier. Yeah, I'll put in an order for the magic keys. I'm gonna get the actual device, not the on screen. On screen is kind of pointless for us because we have because I can just use the quick trade manager, but the actual tool would be useful. All right, so we got some profits over here. Let's see, we've got Barty over here. So Barty locked in a total profit of 1,173 for the day. Nice work, Barty. Looks like you took the buy right there. That happened earlier. Nice work with the profits so far. Here is Barty's earlier profits. 977. Nice work, Barty. And then we've got Kenny over here as well. Let me go back to my chart. We want to make sure we're not missing anything. Still looking for that buy signal. We have Kenny over here. He took the first trade earlier this morning. He took the breakout liquidity push. So total profit for Kenny over here, 2,140 for the day. Nice work, Kenny. So solid profit right there. And here's Kenny's second account. Total profit of 3,460 for the day. Nice work, Kenny. So solid profits right there from you guys. Here's Natasha, her first account, total profit of 1,085 for the day. Nice work right there, Natasha. And we have Natasha's second account over here, total profit of 1,645. So great work right there, Natasha, taking the entries here on the live. We've got Zach over here. Zach said huge loss today, risk 3%, needed to stop for now. Thanks for today. Yeah, no, it's fine, Zach. I'm gonna post my loss right now too, guys, but don't worry. Zach had his first loss in a long time. So Zach over here yesterday, he was up. The day before that, he was up. Today he lost a bit more. I took a bit of more risk. Looks like he took 2 trades here. So I'm not sure what the other trade you took, but I mean, either way, you're gonna bounce back from it, Zach. It's not a big deal. But yeah, if you guys are taking a bigger risk, it's gonna be a bit harder for you to keep trading, because once you take that 3% risk on the one trade or 2 trades, you know, it's going to eat up your ability to trade for the day, because you can only risk 5% per day. We also have Slava over here, total profit of 2,006 for the day, all wins. So nice work right there, Slava. We've got Dijon over here. Dijon's a minor loss for the trade we took earlier. He's going to hold off till tomorrow. So nice work, Dijon. You know, if you guys don't feel comfortable with trading, you know, eat the loss, move on to the next day, because the last thing you want to do is dig a deeper hole for you when you're trying to bounce back from it. So let me just take a screenshot of my loss as well. I didn't really lose too much, so I can still keep going. If I see another trade, I'll be able to take one more trade. Yeah, this is my first red day in a while. Actually, we had a red day on Thursday last week, but it was like $400. So actually, no, that wasn't a red day for me, because I took the 1 hour trade and I was still in profit. This is my first red day in, I think, over a month now. So let me just take a screenshot of our loss right here. I want to be transparent with you guys so that you guys understand that losses are okay. I feel like some people will treat losses like it's like the end of the world. I mean, but realistically, it happens, right? Losses will happen, and you just have to be able to bounce with it, because it's temporary. So, all right, let me just put my screenshot over here. All right, so I just want to put that there with a little description. All right, so I'm going to be taking a screenshot of this right here. So that's the loss that I took right there, guys, just so that you guys know where we ate the loss. If you guys ever want to go back and review that trade, and here's my account. So not horrible. I'm down 1,875 on my top step. Could have been worse. It's not too bad. But yeah, losses do happen, guys, so it's all good. So this trade right here is the one that we took. Ate my loss on there. You guys can see that I actually take these trades. I don't, every trade that I take with you guys, I'm taking with you guys. It's not just like I'm showing you guys a trade and not taking it. If we're eating a loss, we're eating that loss together. But it's all good. We just need 2 more trades and we'll bounce back from it. So not a big deal. We have a whole week ahead of us before we gotta wrap it up. Yeah, so Johnny over here, he took the same loss, but he's still in profit. So Johnny over here is still up 540 on his account. He was up 1,000 earlier. He took a bit of a loss there, but not too bad. So this market's just not moving. So I was hoping we get some volatility here, but the volatility is kind of dead. I mean, 736, hopefully we'll get at least 1 more entry from now until 8 so that we can maybe offset some of those losses for today. But again, we're just going to wait. There's not really much direction here. If you go here to the clean chart, so you can't really see here that market's not really doing much. It's a little harder to see, but going over to the clean chart, you can see that price has pretty much been going sideways right here for quite some time. Price pushed up right here, faked out, but realistically, price has been going sideways right here for about an hour now. So for an entire hour, price is pretty much going sideways. It went sideways, faked out up here. This is where we got caught in the fake out, unfortunately, and then it pulled right back into the range. So we just got caught in a bad move right here. It was hard to tell if this was going to play out. So like, for example, if we were to play to this area right here, from what I see here, I would have seen this to maybe range within this area. Or if not range, I would see it to continue pushing up, right? It looks like it would have continued pushing from here. His price pushed from here, and a bit higher. However, price just ended up pulling back down and going back into the same range that it was in earlier, right there. So typical Monday here. There you go with the buy signal. So I need price to push up a little bit higher. It's a little too close right here. Actually, no, we can still take the trade here. We just got to make sure it doesn't close below this line. So entry right here would be at 710. If price closes below the line, I'm not going to take anything there. But if price closes above the line, I'll put a buy limit right here to possibly fill the order. So we got about 8 seconds left on this candle right here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I got my buy limit right there, waiting for it to be filled. You guys will hear if it gets filled. Let's say order filled. Fills in. The volatility is just really low right now. I don't think there's any news coming up today either, at least not at the moment.
Order filled.
All right, so
Order
now
filled.
just waiting for this to play through. Orders filled right there. In the position. Now we wait. Volatility super low, but now we wait and see how this plays through.
Order filled.
I'm out. Full TP.
Order filled.
I'm gonna close out of it.
Order filled.
All right, so full TP right there, guys. It was kind of lagging a little bit for the entries, but I had a flow. There was like 2 contracts left that didn't get filled. You can see all my orders right here getting filled. So the orders filled right here. Close out a couple right there. Close out a couple right here. I just left a couple because obviously market volatility is super low. Couldn't get the other orders filled for the close, but I took a TP right there. Recouped some of my losses, not all of it, but let's see. So I missed out on $100. Not a big deal. I'll take the $100 kickback versus having to be trapped in a trade. So entry right there hit. It's probably gonna blast right through, but I'm not gonna take that risk. Not today, at least. So I mean, we'll see if we can find another entry here, but yeah. So it blasted right through. It would have filled it, but I'm not gonna take that risk for $100, right? I'm gonna close out my last contract and just call it a day. Not call it a day, but call it a day with a specific trade. So if you guys took it, recoup some of the losses right there. You guys can see the strategy works fine. It's just when the market's moving, it's moving. So it's good when it's moving, but when it's not moving, it's kind of whack. So recoup some of the losses there. I'm up. I'm not up. I'm recouped some of it. I'll give another update right here. So there goes the win right there. Take a screenshot of my accounts again. Hopefully we get one more. If we get one more from now until 8, that's going to pretty much bring us very close to back to break even. But I'm not going to force anything. If I don't see anything come up anytime soon, then I'm not going to force anything. Today is Monday, so it's not really the day to take any dumb risks. But the volatility is picking up a little bit. All right, so I'm out of that position there. Now we just got to wait for the next one. Pablo's done for the day, definitely. John's asking if I said his name. No, I haven't been on the YouTube stream, John, so I haven't said anything. Let's see. Randy said support at Top Step. Trader's been having issues since last week. For those who had written, they advised that you stop trading until you see a resolution. Yeah, so I had an issue last week, Randy. It was the connectivity between Tradeovate and TradingView, but today's been pretty solid. I haven't had really any issues. I did have issues last week. I know Patricia's had issues and a couple other people, but yeah, I guess I'm glad that they're working with it to get that fixed. But yeah, I haven't had any issues today, Randy, with my Top Step or my Tradeovate actually. All right, guys, so I'm looking for one more entry here. Hopefully I can get one more so that I can recoup my loss. But for right now, I'm only down, let me see. So I'm down like $1,000, which is it's not really much. I didn't get the full TP on this trade because the last contract that I was in, I closed for a partial. I'm only down $100. So, or I missed out on $100, which should have been 750. So I'm still down 1,000, but it's not really a big deal because tomorrow, if I take one trade, I'm gonna recoup it anyways. Realistically, right here, I need about like one and less than a half of a trade. So if I have 2 more wins from now until Friday, it's going to bring me back to break even and into profit. And then anything above that would just be extra profit. So yeah, no, definitely ready. I know it is good to hear, especially because I'm putting like all my eggs into this basket right now, trading with Chopstep, or trying to, because I like trading with TradingView directly. So hopefully they get it fixed. But at the moment, thankfully, I'm not having any problems with them today. What I've been doing is I've been resetting everything before the live session so that I don't have the issue like I did last time. The last time I did have my computer on for like almost like 3 months without turning it off, so that might have been my problem too. I should have reset my trading view because I just never turn off my computer. I just leave it on at all times. Let's see, B's asking, is the max funding for Top Step the same as MFF FTMO? I think it's kind of similar to FTMO. I'm not sure exactly, but it's kind of similar. Their funding process is different though, B. So like, it's not like FTMO where like they have some criteria where, like, say for example, you have a lucky day. Say you just got lucky, B, and like today you took like full contracts on buys and you just passed your challenge in one day. They're not going to let you pass in one day. You need to have consistency. Like, you know, with FTMO, like they don't care. You can pass your account in one day, and then you can take a 1 lot or like a 0.1 lot, a penny lot, and then just pass the 10 days. For Top Step, they actually want to see consistency. Like you can't just make like 1,000, you can't make like 10,000 in one day and then pass. You need to make like a consistent, like couple of $1,000 a day, or if you're doing 10,000 a day, you got to do that every single day, right? So yeah, so they have about the same max funding, I believe, but there's like different things. So like, for example, if you're very consistent, they'll put you in a different category. They'll put you like on a live account, like an actual live account. And then if you're just kind of consistent, they'll put you on this thing called express funding, which is like a little bit different. So yeah, I mean, it just depends. I think it just depends on like where you get placed. Because if they categorize you as a really good trader and a very consistent trader, then they want to invest in you, right? So in that case, they'll give you more funding. Probably there's more opportunities once you're like in that side of their traders. Because I know they categorize traders by consistency, profitability, and etc. It just depends on the person. But yeah, if you want to ask them, their support is very quick. So like you can just go and ask them a question, and they'll respond to you right away. Gotcha. Yeah, Daniel said in the email, they say that they want you to average about 2,300 a day. Yeah, and that's doable. So like, for example, if we have like 2 or 3 trades here that just hit TP, like for example, like we had 3, there was a bunch of entries that came up here for the momentum pullback scalp, right? If we took every entry here, so for example, we took a loss here, but earlier this morning, there's like, I think a couple entries that came up like right here, for example, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 entries that came up today. So like 1 loss and 5 entries. If I took every entry, I would have been in profit right now. But I only took 2 entries. And then my second entry over here, I pulled out a little early because I had 1 contract that was just sitting due to the low volatility. So yeah, no, that average is pretty easy to hit, especially if you're doing a 15 contract. Each trade will yield you about 7,500. So for example, I'll do the math here. So say for example, we do about like 3 trades a day, right? Times 7,500 or 750, you make 2,250. That's for 3 momentum pullback scalps, which is very doable. I think also like some people have been applying it to like, they've been applying the strategy pretty much all New York session. If you do that, like if you look at the back test from Randy over here, I'll look at Randy's backtest real quick. So this is Randy's basically the wins for overall. So overall over here, he had 29 wins, right? So 29 wins times 750. That's about 21,750 in profit. He had 3 losses right there. So 3 losses times one's 725, I think. It's about a 5,000 loss, right? So 21,750 minus 5175. You still need profit about 16,000 over, I guess, a 2-week period from July 3rd up until July 14th. So I mean, either way, it's doable to find that consistency. Andrew said another moment. Yeah, so there's another momentum pullback that came up right here, but it was based off the same momentum. So we had the momentum right here. Again, if you guys are applying multiple entries per momentum, you can see there was one entry right here that we took that hit full TP. There was another one that came up right here, hit full TP, but I'm only taking one per momentum, so I wouldn't have taken a trade there. There's another one here that's actually still running too right now, but price is overextended, so that's why I don't like taking, obviously multiple entries. Actually, this one right here would be the entry because price is pulling back. Entry probably be right there. I wouldn't take it though, because it looks a bit overextended from where it's currently at. Let's see, B's asking, how does it work in terms of monthly costs? You pay monthly, but still have to complete the challenge. Once you get funded, then you don't have to pay for any challenge fee. B, you get refunded your challenge fee, and then so you get refunded your challenge fee from that previous month, and then you don't have to pay the challenge fee anymore. Okay, it's like the same with FTMO. The only difference is that you have to pay a data fee, because if you get funded with Top Step is regulated in the US. So if you get funded with Top Step, then the market and the exchange, they see you as a professional trader. So the thing with FTMO is like they don't really copy trade. Well, I mean, they might copy trades for certain people, but not for everybody, right? For Top Step, they actually do copy the trades. So like you get classified as a professional trader. So if you guys remember, if you pay for CBOT, it's $4 if you're not professional. But if you're professional, you have to pay like 128, I think, for the futures data, because now you're considered a professional trader. There's benefits and cons to that. If you're like thinking small, you're gonna think, okay, the $100 is a lot of money to pay for data. But the thing is, if you're consistently profitable and you're making like 1,000 a day or 2,000 a day, $100 is nothing per month. So there's other fees that come into play, but you're not paying a monthly fee anymore if you're funded, or whatever you want to call it, funded or passing a combine, or whatever it may be. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it is. So the thing with the monthly fee, I feel like a lot of people get confused with that. It's not like a consistent monthly fee. It's like basically you're paying for a challenge every month. Like say, for example, you did a challenge for July, right? And then you blew the account. It happens, right? If you want to reset the account, it's $100. It's the same with MFF. If you want to reset a challenge with MFF, you pay the reset fee, right? $1,000. So when you pay the monthly fee for Top Step, it's really just you take a challenge in July, you fail a challenge, you pay the same fee in August, and then you just get another challenge. It's like paying a challenge each month, basically, until you pass. That's what the monthly fee is. But once you get funded, you get refunded that last monthly fee. And then you basically, just to put things simply, you're paying a monthly fee to pay for a challenge every month. That's really what you're paying for. You're not paying a monthly fee. It's not like a Netflix subscription, like, hey, I'll pay you $100 a month and let me keep trading with you. It's not the case. You're just paying a monthly fee you're just paying for another challenge every month. That's really what you're paying for. And then if you don't want to do the challenge anymore, then you just cancel it. So you're basically just paying on a subscription for a challenge until you pass it. And that's basically the basic rundown of like how these monthly fees work. But then there's going to be other fees, because you have to pay like a startup fee when you get funded, because the regulator here in the US, they have to charge a lot of fees. When you're trading with a regulated entity here in the US, they have regulations that they have to fulfill. So Those are the fees that you're paying for. Gosh, Randy said they have restricted countries. Make sure it's not on the list because Randy's country is restricted. Yeah, because you're trading, you're going to be a professional US trader if that is a professional futures trader, which is typically, there's a lot of regulation. So yeah, B, if you want to check, just message their support. Again, if you guys have questions regarding Top Step, guys, just reach out to Top Step. I'm not a Top Step representative. I can't answer all your Top Step questions. So if you guys have questions regarding Top Step, you're probably better off just messaging their support, because I don't have all the answers. Like I know what I know, but I don't know like nearly as much as they would be able to give you. Because I'm still new to Top Step. I just heads up, I've only been using Top Step for like 2 weeks now. So this is still all new to me. It's not like I'm some Top Step guru that's been using them for a long time. So yeah, if you guys have any questions regarding Top Step, ask Top Step directly. You're going to get a better answer from them versus asking me, because I don't know everything about it yet. All right, let's see what else we got over here. So let's see. Anderson said, if you're close to passing your month and your monthly renew comes up, you pay for another month, but your balance stays where it is, which is what you would want since you're close to passing the challenge. Yeah, exactly. I agree with Anderson too, 100%. So you're basically just paying that monthly fee until you pass the challenge or combine, whatever you want to call it. All right, guys. So it's 7:55 right now. Unfortunately, it does not look like we're going to have another entry. We had 1 loss today and 1 win. So it offsets some of the losses for today. Nothing crazy. I mean, today's Monday, so we were expecting the market to move a little all over the place. But other than that, let me see. Yeah, other than that, I think we should be good. If you guys have any more profits to post up, feel free to post your profits in the group. There's just not much movement today, which is fine. It's going to pick back up as we get closer into the trading week. Today's the first day. We have 4 days ahead of us. So market volatility is very slow today. I'm hoping it picks up tomorrow. If it doesn't pick up tomorrow, it'll probably pick up by Wednesday. It's just the market isn't good today for Monday. There's liquidity here that just got hit, guys. I don't know if anybody's following the liquidity here, but there's a bunch of liquidity levels here that got hit and that are still running. So that level right there hit. There's just a lot of fake outs here. There's another low level liquidity right here that got hit, but it didn't actually play out. And then again right here. So you can see there's just a lot of fake outs here happening. So price hit liquidity right here. If you went for 100 pips, it would have hit, but then it faked out. Price came back up right here. Another fake out, but then it came back up and hit. And then again right here. Faked out, but I wouldn't be surprised if price pushes right back through and actually hits. So doesn't really look like the market's moving too smooth today, which is normal for a Monday. And that's probably why we should just wrap it up, because there's no point in forcing any more trades today when we have like a whole week ahead of us, because we can just make this back tomorrow and the day after. Question from, let's see, CJ said the high level momentum TP hit. So if you guys are following this right here, there's a higher high right here. There's a sell signal that broke and closed past pivots 1 and 2. This is the high level momentum scalp strategy. You guys took it right there. It looks like it went straight to TP. CJ just identified it right now. This is one of the strategies that Kevin and CJ and I think Purity like to apply. And it played out perfect right there. B's asking if there's any 1 hour entries today. Not that I saw. So there's nothing here at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock is right here. There's a sell signal, no entry. 6 o'clock over here, buy signal, there's no entry. 5 o'clock, blue trend meter up until 3. Yeah, there's no entries here. Looking at the 1 hour, the 1 hour candle didn't come up until just recently. 6 o'clock. So no, there's no 1 hour entries for today either. It's just the market in general. Market's just not really moving too smoothly. So there hasn't been too many entries. If there's a buy signal that comes up right here, then there may be a possible entry for a 1 hour. Yeah, if this here ends up closing, then yeah, the 1 hour will be setting up in the next minute or so. Because we do have the 1 hour momentum here on the 1 hour. Trend meter down below is green. Buy signal right here on the minute candle. So yeah, technically there is a 1 hour entry that's coming up right here. I don't know if anybody wants to take it. I mean, I think it'll probably hit. Personally, I think it'll hit. I guess we'll see. Plays through. Yeah, it's also a pullback entry too. At that point. I mean, it's right at the line though, so. Yeah, it's kind of risky where it's at. It's right at the line right there. Looks like it's gonna play through. All right, it's 8 o'clock, guys. So if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Just another heads up, guys. I'm not in this position, guys. I just want to let you guys know I'm not in the position. I just marked it up for you guys. But yeah, just a heads up, there's no mentoring session today. We're gonna have it tomorrow at 2 p.m. We had a lot of requests to push it back to Tuesday, just so like a lot of people who can't attend today can attend tomorrow. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat now. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap this up for the day. The 1 hour entry is technically running. Not in it, but it is running right now. There's also an entry for the momentum pullback scalp. Looks like it's about to hit right there too. Right there. And it's right at TP. Yep, blast right through. Taking it. All right, yeah. So some of you guys there caught it. Looks like Randy caught it. So Randy said he's in the pullback. He caught it. Manny caught it as well. 2 wins, 1 loss for the day. Not bad. CJ caught it too. Who else caught it? You know, actually, I caught some of it right here on my MT4, but I didn't catch it on my top step. When I saw price pulling back right here, I just hit buy on my quick trade manager just to recoup some of my losses. So I'm not doing too bad right now. I recouped some of my losses. Basically, I'm basically at break even on my MT4, or no, I'm a little bit of a loss. So let me just take a screenshot of this right here that you guys can see. I got FOMO in that trade. Like I saw a lot of you guys looking at it, and I just got FOMO on it, so I couldn't. It happens. But here's my accounts over here on my MT4, because I did take the trade earlier on my MT4 when I copied it over. It was just kind of slow, but you know, I'll just take it on my thing over here. Let's see, pick the individual. It's just easier to see. Yeah, so I'm not down that heavy. I'm down slightly right now for the week. I'm not counting that trade because I didn't tell you guys I was going to take it. I only count the trades that I say I'm going to take and that I actually take. For this one over here, this was just a FOMO trade. Honestly, it was a valid trade, but I took it as a FOMO trade. I shouldn't have taken it, but I took it anyways. So here's my account right here. So for the day so far, I took the loss with you guys right here on my MT4. I just took it manually, took a small loss right there, 4,000. This is the second trade that we took. I got hit with a lot of slippage right here. So I only got 1,280, should have been a bit higher. And then here's my the trade that I just took right now. I got some slippage here too that worked in my favor. Total profit of 2,340. So I'm down negative 1,100 on my MT4 accounts, FTMO, MFF. And then here is my top step accounts. I'm down 1,225. So I'm not down too much. I'm down like 2,000. This just requires one more trade for me to take, and I'll be back in profit across all my accounts. So I'm not going to count this trade as a win, even though it was a win, because it wasn't an official trade that I said I was going to take. I actually said I wasn't going to take it. That's why I didn't take it on my Top Step, but I did take it on my FTMO. So it copied to my accounts, and I'm still down a little bit, but not very much. Yeah, no, definitely. Rick said great way to finish the morning. Came back from the other momentum pullback loss. Yeah, I was almost back at break even, but it's okay. I'm not going to force anything here. I'm going to eat this loss for the day, just clear my mind, come back tomorrow, and then bounce right back. So that's how you guys have to take it. You guys can't be too stuck on these positions, because if you close a day in the red and you just go on with your day upset, it's just going to screw up your entire day, right? Just take it as is, guys. Losses happen, and then move on to the next day. We have a whole week ahead of us, so it's still early. Some more profits over here. Let's see from Narif. Narif is currently at 9,800 for the day, all wins. Nice work right there, Narif. Here's Johnny over here. He took it as well. He's back up in profit. So Johnny is back in profit, 1,569.30 on his account. So solid work right there, Johnny. Made his way back up. And yeah, there goes my profits right there. So it's all good. I mean, typically we could cut out of that trade earlier, but unfortunately today just wasn't one of those days where we were able to cut out of the trade earlier to eat that loss and then bounce back from it. So we got CERN over here. CERN is currently up, let's see, 128 on his first account, total profit of 733 on his second account, and then total profit of 782 on his third account. All wins right here. Nice work, CERN. Yeah, CERN said playing with this small account with gold. We have Randy over here. All right, cool. So Randy's back in profit. Nice work, Randy. Nice recovery here. So Randy was down 0.2%, 0.02% on the first trade. And then he made two trades over here, up 0.01% and 0.03% full TP. So nice work right there, Randy. And I think this is a key thing too. If you guys don't like to look at profits, or he has his profits here, but the percentage is right there. He lost like less than $1 on the first trade. He made 185 on the second one and 555 on the third one right there that we just took. So nice work right there, Randy. Maddie over here. Maddie's basically at break even across both of his accounts. He's down negative 2,000 on his first account, and then on his second account, he's up 2,400. So nice work right there, Maddie. Here's Anelli over here. Nice recovery right there too. Anelli took a couple trades, took that loss with us earlier, and then he made it right back over here, up 552 for the day. Nice work, Nelly. Great recovery on that account. Let's see what else we got here. We got Jeff over here. Nice work, Jeff. Jeff over here, all wins. Not sure what trade he took, because I know he was calling out entries in the Zoom that he was taking. So he's up about 500, 1,000, 1,600, 2,000, 2,500, 2,600 on there. So nice work right there, Jeff. Jeff's up about 2,500 for the day across his account, all wins. We have Andreas over here, small loss, it's all good. So he recouped a little bit of the loss there, but then he ate the loss with us earlier this morning. So it's all good. He'll bounce back from that tomorrow, Andreas. We got Gian over here. Gian eating the loss with us earlier too. He's about the same, around the same area as me too. He's down 1,000, so not too bad. So as you guys can see, we do lose sometimes, not very often, but we do lose every so often. Here's Kevin over here. He's currently at 5,550 for the day. Nice work, Kevin. Two small losses right there. Big wins on the other trades. So solid work right there, Kevin. And I think that might be it. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for all of the profits for the day. If you guys have more profits to send in, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, just take the day as it comes, and then we'll come back tomorrow and recoup whatever we need to from there. Yeah, Rick said it's great being part of Kodi Kai. Y'all are awesome. Definitely great. No, you too. Thanks for the heads up with a lot of your comments during the Zoom. But other than that, I think that's it. So, all right, guys, I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. We'll recoup those losses and we'll move back into profit. So